Hi there.
Another week, 3 more movies. We watched 2 from 2026
Yes.
and 1 from 1991 that I know you're really excited to talk about.
Should we get it out of the way first?
No.
Okay.
New movies first. The movies we
Okay.
watched first.
Let's do it.
So the first movie we watched was a newer indie horror called Camp.
Yes, I remember from the trailer. It looked kind of interesting, kind of like a witchy vibe, a cool indie flick.
There were goth gay witches. It was great.
What more could you ask for, really?
Honestly. And I'm always impressed with these movies that are smaller budget, indie. A lot of the actors, it's one of their first big things. I'm just always impressed by that. I think I'm also always more forgiving of movies like that.
Sure, it's fun to see kind of a breakout role, especially for young actors like this. Yes, we have Camp, which is the story of this gal going to, she seems to be like a young adult, maybe
College
teenager?
age.
College age,
Yeah.
okay. Going to this summer camp for some reasons. Her dad's dropping her off. That she seems to have a good relationship with the dad, but she's maybe had some issues. She's kind of working through. Young adults, it's not a fun time.
Yeah, she's had some tragedies happen in her life. One very recently kind of sent her over the edge a little bit.
That's right.
And her dad says, "Hey, why don't you go to this camp? It's for young people who are struggling and it might help you and you can go and be a counselor."
And we get early on, I think we start out at like a house party is our
We
opening
do,
scene.
yes.
And what was the main girl's name even? I want to say Pumpkin?
No, that's
Isabel?
Forbidden Fruits.
Ah.
The other goth witch movie that we watched.
You know, we got a theme.
Emily.
Emily. So Emily is this kind of introverted, quiet girl at this party, but we have a sort of like
In the drama.
Yep, where they're going around at this party saying, "Let's confess or tell
What's
your
the worst thing you've ever done?
And Emily was she was involved in an accident in which a child died. I think it was.
She said the kid like ran into the middle of the road.
Yeah, she was
and
driving.
She hit them.
It ran out, and there's nothing she could do.
It wasn't even like she was drunk or anything like that.
It's not like she went to jail or anything. It was a tragic accident.
Exactly.
But she is
Still has a lot of guilt
emotionally
there.
scarred from this. She's hanging out there with her good friend at the party. We kind of get an idea of what Emily's kind of demeanor is like. She's very honest.
Yes.
Doesn't BS anyone, but just quiet and shy. I resonated with this.
Yeah, she doesn't really seem like she wants to necessarily be around all these people, but she wants to hang out with her friend and,
She's trying.
maybe have just a good time, forget about some stuff, maybe do some things that teenagers like to do at parties.
Exactly. But then we get to Emily and her friend leaving the party.
Well, and before, Emily went into a bathroom and there were some girls there snorting cocaine, and
Right.
she took some of their cocaine.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, so
I thought
she's-
she had her own.
No, she's the one who took the cocaine.
Got it.
Because later she's driving. They're going to another party, I think, and her friend starts snorting a lot of that cocaine.
Just in the
and
passenger seat, yeah.
she ODs. It must have been laced with something.
I thought that scene was shot very well. It was very just raw, and you're realizing in the moment, like, oh, this just got turned up to 100 very quickly.
Yeah, the director is named Avalon Fast.
That's a great name.
That is such a cool name. I haven't heard of this director before, but I'll keep an eye on them because I'm not sure if this was their debut, but I mean, hell of a debut if it is.
Absolutely. I liked this movie overall. It was cool.
I did too. Where my critiques lie are just some things in the story could have been expanded on more. Some of the metaphors or the surreal things that were happening, I didn't really know what it was tying back into.
Agreed.
It felt like some of the stuff was just there because, it looks cool and trippy. But I'm okay with that, especially like if this were some big budget movie done by a big horror director, I would say you need to tighten that up a little more. But here, I don't mind at all.
No, give him some grace.
I did overall really enjoy the vibe, and you know me, I am about style over substance all the time. And there wasn't no substance here. I do think there was substance to this movie.
Absolutely.
But if you have a cool style, a cool look, a cool vibe, I'm going to really resonate with your movie, and that's how I felt here.
Some goth witchiness. It's fun.
I mean, this is just me in high school. Well, and then they get to the camp, and there's some religious weirdness happening.
At first, they think, is this Christian camp, something like that? But we quickly learn it is for...
It's just the guy who's kind of running it is really religious.
And the rest of our cast are played as like kids that have had like maybe family issues or mental issues or have some like trauma or tragedies that they're recovering from. This is a way to kind of bond and grow.
Yeah, because Emily ends up getting to the camp and she meets, 4 other girls.
Yes, I think so.
And they kind of coven up, you know?
Yes. She's kind of accepted in the group pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. They're very nice, very welcoming, very friendly with her. I'm all about anything that is looking at religion and saying, oh, that's weird.
Right.
Because also that's how when I was a teenager, when I was this age, I was around a lot of weird religious stuff. So it felt very familiar to me seeing her get there, and then they're singing these songs and doing these things that feel kind of culty, and you're just like...
She's just going along with it.
Yeah.
To try to fit in.
But none of the other girls seem to be super into that stuff. There is one, though. Isn't it the redhead? She gets kind of mad when people take the Lord's name in vain or something. So one might be a little more religious. It's stuff like that where I'm thinking, oh, I would have enjoyed digging into that a little more. There was a guy they mentioned at the beginning of the movie, another counselor. They said, oh, yeah, he threw his girlfriend down the stairs and hurt her really bad, and now he's just here.
Right.
And
some of the other girls expressed some surprise. They're like, wow, I think his name was like Kane or something like that.
I forgot his name.
They're like,
which,
wow, I'm
that's
surprised.
Religious if it was Kane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, I'm surprised he's back here this summer. It seems like they're setting him up to be kind of he's like a short temper, short fuse kind of guy, might be a little dangerous.
Well, and then they said he was obsessed with one of the girls last year. The first night, the girls... They get drunk by the fire. They're like smoking weed and stuff, just having a good time.
They have free reign most of the time, it seems like.
Yeah, and our main character, Emily, she kind of falls asleep in front of the fire outside, and she wakes up and she sees that guy.
And she's alone otherwise.
Yeah, looking at her and just kind of laughing maniacally, and then we don't really see him again. So it's stuff like that where I'm thinking, oh, I wish that would have gone somewhere. I think there was something there. Maybe there was an original version of the script or something, and it just didn't make it in.
I recall seeing that character later. He doesn't have any more lines, I don't believe.
No, I don't think
one
he
else
really
interacts
does
with
anything
him.
else.
He's in the background, but I remember seeing, I think he has like a black eye or something, or like some scraped up knuckles, something like that. And at first I thought, oh, was it implied? Maybe we'll see in a quick flashback, like he tried something and Emily beat him up or something like that, or, something. Nothing. It felt like something was cut almost from this script.
Yeah.
It's fine. It just seemed kind of out of place.
Yeah, because I did like the scene. I thought it was creepy, but that's what I mean when I say I wish sometimes the script had gone deeper. But again, I'm not mad at it.
Things just start getting stranger. I thought the soundtrack through this was really cool. I think it kind of tied into Emily's internal feelings of like emotional instability. She starts kind of like questioning reality a little bit. And you get these scenes where the score is just going really like whoa, 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 whoa.
The score was really cool.
That's my professional impression of making it unsettling, which I thought was neat.
Yeah. And I think she was having maybe a little bit of a flirtation, a little vibe with
definitely
Clara.
Yeah, she kind of singles out another gal. They become friends.
Yeah, Clara seems kind of maybe like more of the leader of the pack here.
Yes, she's got her cool, like, dyed red hair, epitome of that gothy, witchy vibe in
She
this
dressed
summer
like
camp.
me in college.
Nice.
I did love the cult, the coven, the characters. But yeah, Clara was my favorite. What she ends up making out with, that lady at the end, I think was supposed to be the devil, right?
Or just a witch or something. So we get early on, they're still kids to me. They have kind of free reign. They can party as much as they want. And one of the gals wants to hook up with the main counselor guy who's the very religious one. So they go up to their attic space where they can just hang out. They have their little...
It's kind of where they smoke weed and
their
just chill.
little covenant gathering, I guess. And they do some little, what would you call it? Maybe a seance or a little wish thing saying, I think one girl's wanting to hook up with him. They think he never will because he's very like, I'm saving myself for marriage, never entered his mind. But then later at a party, she's able to seduce him.
And he is just very upset by that. And they say that they've taken his energy.
Next day, he is distraught, doesn't know what to do.
And then they can use that energy to
it's just a walk of shame, man.
And fly and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yes. We get throughout. It kind of leans into there's something otherworldly going on. Emily, again, is kind of starting to question her sanity over time. She's really still trying to deal with her past tragedies.
There's also that gal who's, I guess, the more religious girl. There's a girl there, too.
Uh-huh.
I feel like there was more to her backstory that was implied, but again, never really gone into, like, what was her deal? We just kind of saw her a few times being kind of cryptic, kind of religious. I do think there was a bit of a God versus devil theme going on, because Clara does kind of talk like, yeah, I gave myself over to the devil, so, but hey, to each their own.
Seemed like they were having a good time.
It did. I mean, which group would you rather hang out with? Come on now.
We start seeing, especially when they're up in their little attic hideaway, we get some imagery where they do some, to me, it looked like kind of like some drawings superimposed in the background of like twinkling stars in the background.
That stuff was cool.
Yes, and it's supposed to be implied like that is a representation of like the, I guess, literal kind of magic that they are tapping into. Thought that was neat. And yeah, towards the end, it just seemed like again, the cast needed some more kind of definition, it felt like, because we have a new character come up to Emily, and at first I thought it was one of the other camp counselors or one of her friends just kind of dressed up witchy, but it seems to be it's a woods witch who hangs out around them, and that's the source of their power.
I thought they were saying that was literally Satan.
Oh, I just thought it was a witch. This reminded me of The Witch a lot.
And I really loved this movie visually, but I almost think this story, I would enjoy reading this as a book.
Yeah.
You could really go in depth with everything and everyone and what's going on.
This would have been a cool miniseries.
Yeah, because I liked the movie and I'm just interested about more of the lore. You know what I mean?
Towards the end, we get, again, a lot of the score is just very constant and humming and unsettling. Emily is trying just to kind of figure out what's real, what's not, what her feelings are. And she's got these new relationships with the other camp kids. And I wasn't sure, were they going for kind of an ambiguous ending? Was she trying to finally joining the Covenant?
I think she's joining the Coven because she has that scene where she calls her dad and says, no, you shouldn't come pick me up. We can't do the road trip. I'm going to go off with my friends. And he said, oh, well, that makes me sad, but I'm also like happy that you found people. And she says, yeah, me too. Like, I'll miss you.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that was her saying goodbye to her dad. She's going to go off with the Coven now. There was also the young girl who... because it's a camp, there's kids there. The kids weren't around that long, but...
Not really. We single out one.
Yeah, we single out one who... her big thing is she's angry and she gets her first period.
And Emily's trying to just guide her through all that.
Which I'm sure there's a metaphor for womanhood or, you know, the violence of the body or something going on there. I'm not exactly sure what. Maybe I'm just not smart enough or I would have to watch it again. But yeah, I do think there was a metaphor going on there that I also think could have benefited from
A little
going
clarity.
a little deeper. Yeah. The movie opened with the one gal who's Emily's roommate turning on a TV, and there's an angel almost in the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And for a bit, I was thinking, is that supposed to be the girl that she killed? But then, no, that was like a 4-year-old or something.
Yeah.
So there was something going on there too. It looked very like cool and dreamy though. I wouldn't be shocked if this director is a David Lynch fan.
You're right. I think dreamy is a good way to kind of describe this plot a little bit. It's weird, it's witchy, it's sort of vibey.
I liked it overall. I really
Yeah,
did.
it was cool. I thought it was a fun, weird little ride.
Me too. I agree.
And again, probably I need to rewatch it at some point to kind of get a better grasp on things. Maybe pick up or notice some things that maybe I've overlooked. I imagine this is just what gals do at summer camp.
Yeah.
I'm all right with it. They had a good time.
I've done stuff like this with my friends. It's cool.
Emily found her people. She seemed very happy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Good
camp.
for her.
Not bad at all.
No, I liked it. I would give camp an 80%. I liked it.
I agree. I will say 83. Sounds pretty good.
Nice. And on Rotten Tomatoes, camp has an 89%.
All right.
I'm not mad at that. I'd say camp is worth the hype.
I do think I need to rewatch it at some point, but I agree. It's worth the hype. It's a fun indie flick. We always need more of those. I want to see more out of Avalon.
Avalon, yes.
You go. Keep cranking them out.
Go rent it. Go support indie film financially.
Indie films are really what push the medium forward, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't that expensive either. I think we paid $5 to rent this movie.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And our next movie.
Yes.
Now, it has a long title, so let me make sure I'm being exact. We have Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour, live in 3D, directed by Billie Eilish and James Cameron.
And just to get out of the way, I don't know why James Cameron was involved in this other than
I'm pretty sure
clout.
they were doing a lot of new camera technique,
It's a beautifully shot movie.
which is very much in James Cameron's wheelhouse. He finally made a movie that was less than 3 hours.
Yeah.
This might be
my
favorite James Cameron movie since Titanic.
I don't even like Titanic that
You don't like
much.
Titanic? I haven't watched Titanic in a while, but I remember when they did maybe it was like the 20-year anniversary or something. My mom and I went and saw it in the movie theater, and it was a good time.
And I would say 90% of this movie is really just covering her doing a concert.
Yeah, if you like Billie Eilish music, which I do,
Yeah, I do.
You'll enjoy it because, I mean, she's a great performer.
She's got 2 Oscars, however many Emmys, and she's Grammys, excuse me, and she's 24.
Yeah, something like that.
Ridiculous energy and talent and work ethic.
Yeah.
Just
and
nuts.
in the small bits where we were stepping away from the concert and she was doing little interview vignettes and talking about the fans and stuff like that, I did think that was really cool. I think it's really fun when after the concert, James Cameron's going up to the fans. How'd you feel about that? And all I can think is, and they're crying. They're like, I love Billie Eilish. And all I can think is, if that were me, I would look at him and say, wait, are you James Cameron?
It seemed like, no, he was just holding the camera going up to people, and probably most were like, it's just, I don't know, he's a cameraman. But yes, this is a beautifully shot. It shows sort of the inner workings for the concert, kind of like on the mechanical side. She's diving under the stage and doing like the elevator platform things. It was very cool, very visually appealing.
When they lifted her up on that platform, I was like, I would be so scared. And you said, oh, the platform, it's secure. I was saying, no, I'd be scared. I would accidentally step off of the platform.
Just fall and faceplant.
I think she was hooked on it, though.
Yes, I believe so. Yes, this is essentially a concert movie. Nothing wrong with that. If
No.
you like Billie Eilish music, you'll love this. I thought it was neat when they're showing some of the non-concert footage. Like, she was in a building and was able to look down through the windows to see fans lined up and was able to, like, knock on the window and say hi to people.
Yeah,
That was
I
a cool
liked
little
that.
interaction.
She said, let's see how many of them have my notifications on, and like took a picture and put it on Instagram or
Okay.
something. And you could just see them immediately just start looking up like, so
Where
they
is she?
did have those notifications on.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if I would have enjoyed being at a concert like that. I really like watching musicians like play the instruments. This was a lot of just, it's Billy just kind of running around a stage for a couple hours. To each their own, though.
The athleticism, man.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the lights and everything, the light show was really well done. Her brother comes out at the end to play some music.
I probably would have had a good time at the concert, but I think concerts, they're a bit like movies for me at the theater where it's like, okay, I'm going to pay a ton of money to be
Oh,
here.
yeah.
And there are definitely going to be people at this event who maybe are not practicing the greatest etiquette.
I kind of viewed it the same way as paying and going to a football game, like at the stadium, versus just like watching it and it's professionally shot on TV at home. Much better. I'd be much more comfortable with the latter. You get all the good shots and close ups and everything. You're not stuck in the audience, yet you're not out a ton of money. If you're a really big fan, hey, go for it. I love going to concerts too, but this was a great way to enjoy some Eilishness.
The stage was set up like theater in the round.
You're right,
Which
yes.
I thought was interesting because that's a really hard way to block things, but I think they did it really well. She was really making sure to connect with every side of the audience because theater in the round, it's like the stage is in the middle and there's audience surrounding it completely.
Yes, all around you.
Even in the section where she was sitting on a stool singing some of the slower songs.
She'd be turning.
Yeah, you could see she would turn every couple of bars.
Yes.
So that she was hitting every part of the audience.
Yeah, I thought this was all well done. Again, I think you're right. They probably showcased some really cool filming and camera techniques. And I know James Cameron is probably a wealth of knowledge and really brought this work to a kind of a new high. It was really top quality. Otherwise, I don't know why James Cameron was really here.
I think it was for that technical aspect,
He
really.
probably wanted her to dress up as the Na'vi for the concert. She's like, no, Jimmy, get out of here.
Do you think we're gonna have a Billie Eilish original song on the next Avatar movie?
You have a very inappropriate playing of What Was I Made For? for the blue people.
Yeah, no, I need to tell everyone. So there's this Uber commercial, right? And it is about a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them going on their first date, and then it progresses through their relationship
like
while
the
they're
chorus
falling
of
in
them.
love and everything.
Yeah.
And Uber's always there for them. But the song that's playing in the background is When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish. And I hate that commercial so much because way to not even understand the meaning of that song. That is not a happy love story song.
Yes, really missed the mark on that one. You're right.
So yeah, when she started playing that song, I do love that song, but I now think of that Uber commercial and I hate the Uber commercials so much.
But otherwise, we got just some of Billy's hits kind of going through her whole discography. I'm not sure, was this for like a new album or something like that?
That album's called Hit Me Hard and Soft.
Gotcha. I don't know too much of her music, but definitely top quality vocals. This is definitely artists that are not like sound really good in the studio, and then when you go see them in live in concert, you're like, okay.
Yeah, she sounds exactly the same.
A la the time I went to the that Red Hot Chili Peppers concert.
Okay, of course the Red Hot Chili Peppers did not sound good. Have you seen that guy? Have you seen that creepy man?
Let me say, the instruments were great. Singing, I think Billy's got him beat.
Yeah.
You know what? I want Billie Eilish to be the new singer and frontwoman of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You know what? That would be interesting. But then I would say just make sure that you never let Anthony Kiedis around her. Of course, she is almost 25, so she might be a little old for him.
Oh, way too old. Almost twice the age of what?
I hate that man.
He definitely chose to keep some interesting tidbits in his book that he seemed to be proud of. Don't be proud of that.
No, go to jail for that.
Would you rather see Billie Eilish be the new singer of Chili Peppers or Linkin Park? Which would be a better fit?
Oh, I think she has a bit more of a soft voice. So I do think musically Red Hot Chili Peppers because, I mean, Linkin Park, that new singer that they have, Scientology aside.
That's a big one, though.
That is a big one. I'm not a fan of that. But she has a voice that it reminds me of like that Hailstorm.
I was just going to
gal.
say, Lizzie Hale, I think, would be a better placement there.
So I think a voice like that suits Linkin Park more.
Fair.
I can appreciate that Linkin Park, when they found a new singer, they weren't just trying to find someone who sounded exactly like their
Chester.
previous singer. Yeah, like Chester.
Ooh, you know, I want to see Billie Eilish tour with, maybe do a duet with Amy Lee, some Evanescence and Billie Eilish.
Now that would be good. That
Love
would be
it.
fantastic.
Love it. But yes, this was a very fun movie. I love music, and this was a great listening experience, a great viewing experience. It's beautifully shot, of course, and everything was choreographed very well. Thumbs up for me.
Yeah, and I like Billie Eilish. I like her music, so I had a good time. If you don't like Billie Eilish, don't watch this. You're not
why
going to
you
like
here?
it. But I liked it.
And you know what? If you're undecided, so I don't know if I like this artist or their music, maybe give it a shot.
I
Just
would,
see,
yeah.
see what you like. It's
can
definitely a
always-
good energy, fun time.
Yeah, you can always listen to a few songs and see how you like it. So for the Billie Eilish concert movie, I'm gonna give it an 87%.
You know what? I'll go 86. At 1 point less. Jim Cameron, what are you doing here?
You had to look at him in this movie.
I know.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 91%.
That's fair.
I'm going to say that's perfectly valid. I'm going to say that is worth the hype.
I wouldn't be shocked. And kind of from everything we've seen, we're going to have a lot of Billie Eilish for the foreseeable future. And I hope we see more works like this, because this is a very cool, I think a concert movie is professionally shot like this. I haven't seen all that many. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate when live events like concerts, like theater do things like this. It makes it much more accessible to people.
Absolutely, because I can't afford to go to a concert.
No.
Especially not a big name like that.
No, I'm sure if we had tried to go see Billie Eilish in our town, it would have been thousands of dollars per ticket.
Absolutely. Yes, worth the hype.
And our final movie, let's take it back to 1991.
All right, I gotta get ready. I have hate in my heart.
Well, one of your favorite directors of all time,
Hey, former.
Richard Linklater, did a movie which seems to be his debut. He was at least nominated for Best First Feature at the Independent Spirit Awards.
Wild to me.
Called Slacker.
Must have been a very slim year.
He was nominated for Best Director too, which I will say, as much as I didn't care for this movie, I think the directing, especially for a first-time director, young guy, because Richard Linklater, he was in the beginning of the movie. He's pretty young here.
This seems like, because I think it takes place in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, where he's from.
And this is a very much like a grouping of, it seems like a bunch of college kids got together and made this movie. It's kind of like a liberal arts sort of vibey, kind of aloof. I mean, it's called Slackers.
Yeah. Slacker or singular.
Slacker. Oh, we have so many slackers in this.
I think maybe it's because we're only following one at a time, really.
I guess.
And we don't see them when they come back again. Like, one of my biggest problems with this movie was I kept expecting people to come back.
I thought we were going to circle back Richard Linklater at the end.
Sometimes I thought that someone had come back because all of these white people look the same.
They do. Yeah, you can't tell. Everyone's kind of just grungy looking. We'll get the good out of the way first. And you're right. All these shots and transitions and everything, very well done. The movie itself is directed very well.
Linklater's the master of the walk and talk.
Yes. Nothing wrong with that. I enjoy movies that are like a walk and talk when done well, when the dialogue actually is relevant, makes sense. We'll get into all that. Very entertaining.
I don't don't think all of the dialogue here was bad. Some of it I even thought was still pretty timely.
I am trembling with rage.
But I don't think it really connected together into a movie very much. There wasn't really a plot.
No.
Compared the type of dialogue to my favorite movie of 1990, Metropolitan. But I loved Metropolitan. I did not really like Slacker. And I think it's because the characters in Metropolitan were more dynamic. We got more time with each of them, so
we do
you
their
get
names.
to know them.
Yeah.
We had just one really standout guy just killing it there. And then Metropolitan, even though it wasn't plot heavy, it did have a string of plot.
It did.
Also, just personal preference. I think if someone maybe grew up in Austin around this time, or your friends were more like this, you would probably resonate with Slacker more. Unfortunately, where I went to college and the people I was around, the conversations I was hearing in Metropolitan felt more like things that me and people that I've known when I was like 18 were talking about, you know?
I've heard a little bit about Austin just in general, and a little bit about what life was like in the 90s. And I kind of understand that this movie was maybe a bit of a sort of like a love letter to the lifestyle and culture and people of Austin, Texas, growing up and becoming, young adults kind of coming into their own around this time. But what we get is just a bunch of nonsense strung together. There isn't a plot. We start out with Richard Linklater. He's like arriving from I think it was a bus station, something like that, and getting a ride into town. And this entire movie reminded me of if you've ever had a friend in like middle school or high school, if you're hanging out and you have that one friend that will just not stop talking, even if there's nothing to talk about, no one's even having a conversation with them, just spewing at the mouth. Could be things they're passionate about or relevant events or something going on with their lives, but just not connected to anything. It's just like they're monologuing out to the open air.
There was one part where I thought maybe a plot would start up where a lady was walking and talking with her friend, and then she just stops and says, the next person who walks by me is gonna die before the end of the day. And then this guy just walks past her, and then we start following that guy. And I thought, oh, maybe that's where we're going with this. And then, of course, it gets passed along and we never see him again because that's how this movie works. The most interesting character, in my opinion, and she's on the poster. I assumed that was the Slacker, that it would be about that person. No. She's like trying to sell definitely fake Madonna pap smear.
Yeah, she stole it from a clinic or something like that.
And I did think that was funny.
Random and out of the blue, but yeah.
Yeah, that was the most interesting section to me.
This whole script seemed like a bunch of college students got together, loved movies. They were all stoned out of their minds and each contributed their own little bit.
Yeah.
None of it mashes up coherently at all. Early on, we get the crux of the movie is we'll have one character, we'll run into someone else, and then we'll view on that new character, they'll run into someone else. And it kind of keeps, just leapfrogging like that throughout the whole movie. We get probably over a dozen different characters and their perspectives.
I think it's 30 something.
And it starts out after Linklater, he's in his taxi coming into town. There's a brief bit where a guy's walking and we see a lady at a crosswalk had gotten hit by a car. And I think she was accidentally hit by her own son who was driving a car or something like that.
I don't know.
He runs back into his house. He's arrested. And then we move into someone else. And it just keeps going and going and going. And the whole time I'm trying to pick up okay, what is going to be relevant? What is just...
to the plot.
Yes, but it's nothing.
And I was even thinking, are they all going to come together at the end or find each other? Something no.
As far as I could tell, each interaction was between strangers for the most part. Everyone seemed we have one scene where a guy is an old man and I think his daughter or something walk into their house. They're held up at gunpoint by a robber. The old man talks him down, takes the gun. Everything's very chill. And they just have a nice little conversation. And then we just follow the robber guy for a little while.
Well, no, we learn that the old man is actually a really huge anarchist.
Oh, that's right. I was so tuned out. Each person just starts kind of blabbering up about whatever they're either seeing or passionate about at the time, and it drolls on and on.
Yeah, which unlike with Metropolitan, that's again very dialogue heavy, very young people just having really long conversations about these philosophical things. You mentioned Metropolitan was all about class. Their conversations, it all had to do with class.
Yes, wealth, class dynamics, philosophy, education, kind
It
of the
was
state of the country.
cohesive.
Yes, so you have the same group of individuals. You had a larger cast, but it was closed off. We weren't skipping from person to person to person and situation to situation. We were in how many different
Like
bars
house parties and then
house
they're all
parties
together.
Yeah, we get after the guy who was trying to hold up the old man and his daughter. He was like wanted to steal their TV, something like that. He goes then to a place where a guy has a bunch of TVs all over the place. He has a TV that's on, like duct taped to his back, like a backpack. No one even explains that whatsoever. It was just weird, but weird can be fine if it, I don't
I
know,
love
makes
weird.
makes sense in the greater picture, but this is just all randomness. And that just didn't vibe with me very well.
Yeah.
I was depressed like halfway through this movie. I just wanted it to end.
And maybe if you ask Richard Linklater, he would say that all of the conversations do have a cohesive thread, but I couldn't pick up on that.
You shouldn't have to explain it to me for the movie to make sense.
That's fair.
Felt like I needed to read the Wikipedia article to just get a grasp. Like, what did I just see?
Now, what do you have to say directly to one of your favorite directors, Richard Linklater? Now, remember, this was his first movie, so he did improve, in your opinion, I would think.
Yes, I'm glad that you were able to not only refine and improve your directorial skills, but then you were able to, I don't know, maybe pick up a dictionary and read what plot is or like dialogue or something, and to get a greater sense. I mean, you made a movie, technically.
The directing, the shots were great.
Yes. Writing wise, it's like nowadays if someone just entered in a bunch of random words into like an AI script generator and it just crapped out this nonsense.
As strange as it sounds, because the movies I don't think are similar in vibe, but I really think this is the blueprint to Richard Linklater's Before trilogy.
I don't think I've seen any of those.
I don't think you have either, but it's Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, and it's these three movies, and they're like years apart from each other, but it's essentially about this couple falling in love and then, you know, being in this relationship. And Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy actually wrote on the screenplay with Linklater. Except in those movies, I mean, first of all, you know, no hate to any of these actors in the movie Slacker, but they're not professional actors.
Right. Again, this seems like just a bunch of college kids came together to make this project.
Yeah, and like,
And
so
it's fine.
in the Before trilogy, I mean, it's professional actors. Kind of like with Metropolitan, you have the string of class. This one, it's a string on love and relationships and even getting older and how that ties into those things, because it is very talk heavy, you know, walk and talk, stuff like that. But you do feel that semblance of plot because the plot is this relationship growing and are they gonna make it and all that stuff, you know?
I understand. Slacker, excuse me, I guess, is, again, it's maybe a kind of a love letter to Austin and that life. And I think it's also trying to highlight just the grouping of all these weird, eccentric individuals. Everyone's living their own lives in their own worlds and how they interact with each other. I get that. But it wasn't entertaining. Not whatsoever.
Can I also point out how sick I feel that we found this movie on Turner Classic Movies?
I know.
A Linklater movie on Turner Classic Movies.
Like, what in the world? But yes, suffice to say, I did not enjoy this. I want to forget about this. I'm not very sophisticated in my understanding of film and media, especially compared to your understanding, but I did not have a good time. It dragged for me. I hate it when movies drag. Go on. I wanted it to end.
This feels like a movie that people maybe latched onto because it made them feel pretentious.
It's a very like Gen X coming into their own and their weirdness and expanding into adulthood. And it's about relationships and interactions and everything. It's just, it did not flow well.
I liked the guy who was essentially a conspiracy theorist who was following the one dude saying, oh, your friend went missing. And then he starts going off on climate change. And I was just sitting there like,
He was
no,
right.
he's right.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right.
And also, if I was any of these folks, half the time we get a character who will like walk into a bar or something like that, and then our next point of view just starts like following them down the street, and everyone's very calm about that. No one's ever like, why is this creep following me? We have one guy, he like walks out of the bar, still like glass of beer in his hand, starts following this guy down the, it was the climate change guy. And he's just going, okay, I'm just going to stand here, make sure you get into your house okay. I'm like, this guy's going to murder me. What are you talking about?
Well, and then there was the guy who, those three girls just got in his car.
Yeah.
You know, the guy who was essentially Bryce from Love Island.
No.
I couldn't see anything else but Bryce from Love Island.
He really was, yes.
And I'm just thinking, girls, come on now. We do not get in cars with strange men.
Hey, the 90s were a different time.
I'm surprised we didn't see anyone hitchhiking.
Yeah, really. I mean, yes, this was grungy and weird, and it's just talk, 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 talk. But I like dialogue-heavy movies when there's substance. There's no substance to this movie at all, for me at least.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
I may have liked Pavements, that movie, more than
I
this.
like Pavements because I think it is
least it was kinda funny.
impressive that a mockumentary documentary thing, the whole movie, and even for days after the movie. I mean, you told me you were looking it up saying, no, Pavement, they're a real band. And I was still saying,
It was like, there's no way.
I don't think that's true. I think this is all a big troll. I still don't know if that movie and that band isn't just a big troll.
I think they are, but it's a real trolling band. That's unique. That was kind of interesting, even though I didn't like
Joe
that movie
Keery
either.
was really fun.
Yeah, nothing about this was really fun. It's like my brain was sunburned by this movie. It's the best way I can describe it. I'm healing now. I need to be left alone in the dark.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I'm gonna give Slacker. Since I liked the shots, I'm not gonna go super low, but I'm gonna go 35%.
I think you're right. The directing is all that's really holding this up for me, at least.
It definitely
Again,
shows the promise that Linklater had as a director.
maybe I'm just completely misunderstanding it, but hey, I'm just going to go off my own opinion. 9%.
9%. Is that the lowest score you've given something?
I hope so.
Did you hate this movie more than Santa Sangre?
You know what? I think I did, because Santa Sangre, while awful, at least seemed a little bit more coherent.
It did have a plot.
It even had more of a plot, yes. Even Pavement had more of a plot than this. It was essentially like, again, I'm going back to the example, if you were ever in school and you had, I don't know, a video camera or your phone for the first time, and you're just going up to your friends and just say, hey, say something to the camera, the movie, and it goes on for like 2 hours.
Yeah. I didn't care for this movie, but it's not even my least favorite that we've seen for the year 1991.
Okay.
I do like this movie more than Santa Sangre, I think, overall, because Santa Sangre offended me.
Yeah.
This movie didn't offend me.
No, I
was
get
just
it.
kind of bored.
Exactly. Yes. Maybe if you're a big film buff or something, you might find this very unique and interesting. It sounds like certainly plenty of people did.
Yeah, if you grew up in that area or you know people like this, or maybe you consider yourself a slacker.
And actually, everyone seemed pretty active and were having conversations
Yeah, they
with each
weren't really
other.
slacking
No one was
all that
slacking at
much.
all. I'm even more angry now.
Maybe that's what was considered a slacker back in the early 90s before there there was really like, cell phones and widespread internet and such.
True.
Because they don't really have jobs. They're just kind of
Yes.
wandering around and hanging out and, smoking weed or going to the bar or whatever.
Sure. No, you're right. You're right.
Whereas now we would consider that to be a person with a very active social life.
Like, wow.
Wow, they
Yes.
really get out of the house.
Vibrant, yeah.
Also, all the talking to strangers. I don't talk to strangers. I'm a little
No.
appalled when a stranger talks to me.
Everyone here in this movie had zero sense of self-preservation.
No, not even a little bit. Yeah.
I'm glad it's done.
Oh, and this on Rotten Tomatoes.
This is going to make me upset, isn't it?
82%.
There's no hope for the human race.
That's not worth the hype.
No. If you're feeling like, hey, I want to watch something weird and try to like maybe you'll get it more than I did. I don't know. Give it a shot if you want just something out there.
If you put it on and after the first 20 minutes, you're like, this isn't my vibe, this isn't for me, it's not going to change.
I would say give this 90 seconds. After the credits and everything, because I think we had some intro credits, maybe. So we're past Richard Linklater. If you're bored by then, it's not going to get any better.
No, it's going to stay the exact same. If you're not having a good time after the conspiracy theorist is talking that guy's ear off about climate change, you should just turn the movie off.
Even that's too far in.
He was my favorite.
He was right, yeah.
No, I did like the gal who was trying to sell the Madonna pap smear because that was so wild that I did think that was funny.
I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of what we were seeing were maybe personal stories that a lot of these people had like encountered in real life. Maybe
Yeah.
were kind of dramatizing.
Yeah, like you were saying, I wouldn't be shocked if all of these actors were just kind of improvising or if they wrote their own thing. I could be totally off base there, though. I did not look at the writing credits on this movie.
Yeah, drawn from real experiences possibly, but that doesn't necessarily translate, and it did not.
Okay, looks like Richard Linklater is the only writing credit on the movie. Maybe he took input and then
Maybe
put
he
it
took
all in a
acid
script.
when he was writing this.
Okay, yeah, of course he took acid.
That'd be an explanation, I guess.
I feel like there was a lot of weed smoked in the making of this movie.
I'm glad it's over, though.
That was our week. If I'm ranking these movies, I'm going to put, honestly, the Billie Eilish concert movie at the top. And then Camp is just like right below that. And then all the way down is Slacker.
I'm going to say, for its uniqueness, and because the director has a cool name, I'm going to go Camp, then Billie Eilish.
And then
We don't rank. We're not ranking Slacker. It doesn't deserve it. I've decided if I hate a movie so much, I'm not even considering ranking it.
well, then it just ranks at the bottom.
Slacker, never heard of it. Richard who? I don't know.
Yeah, your favorite director, Richard Linklater?
Who?
At the beginning of this week,
Dick Linklater? Nah,
you loved that guy.
I'm very changeable.
Hey, his movies only got better after this.
I'll give him that. I'll give him
There's
that.
only one place to go, and it's up.
I need to rewatch Hitman again just to cleanse my palate, and I will.
You need to watch Boyhood and go cry.
That's okay.
Boyhood came out when I was junior or a senior in high school, so it came out at like the time where it was really emotional for me.
Fair enough. And he's working on another project like that. Is that right? Or did he already release it?
Yes, it's a musical with
Oh, it's a musical?
Ben Platt and Beanie Feldstein.
Okay.
And he fired that domestic abuser from Glee and replaced him with Paul Mescal. So Richard Linklater is a good dude.
Yes, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He just made a bad movie. We all
Who
do. It
amongst
happens.
us haven't?
Exactly. He's definitely a better director than I ever could dream to be.
Even watching this movie and not liking what was going on, I can't say the directing was bad. The directing was good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's our week. So
I need a drink.
with that, we'll be back next week with 2 more new releases, and we'll do one from 91, which I believe will be a actual re-release. So not technically from 91, but we'll see you there.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.